Welcome to another episode of my podcast. And my guest today is Mike O'Hearn. Mike O'Hearn's been famous for a very long time in the fitness industry. I've looked up to him for a long time, and it almost seems surreal that I have him on my show now. Thanks, Mike.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I think we already had the show, though, in there.
Yeah, we did have the show in there.
We'll recap.
Yeah. So listen, me and Mike have been around for a long time in the fitness game, and we're just real, keep it simple. And we were just talking a little bit before about what social media does with keeping it simple. You know what I'm saying? So with nutrition and food and the workout, and everyone wants to align with the moon or the stars or whatever. Why, I get asked sometimes, they're like, how are you 47 years old and still in this shape? I said, it's just consistency and keeping it simple. And everyone's trying to make it very difficult and they have their own spin on something, and obviously it's to make money, and I'm like, yo, man, this is just my lifestyle. That's why I'm in this shape. And you can't, and we were talking about diets are short term, and all these things are short term weight losses and short term little whatever programs. But it's about sustaining, what your gains are over time and being consistent with it. Do you agree with me? Yeah, right.
Isn't that common sense though? The common sense is why are you in shape at 47? You got in shape at some point and you maintained it and you did the work every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's not common sense?
Common sense isn't common. Common sense isn't common, unfortunately. And
that hurts me. That hurts me
Yeah,
because it should come down to just like anything. And you agree with me on this, I'm assuming. When you see the guy and they're talking about money, well, it's going to be pretty easy if this guy's blowing smoke, right? Either he's got the big homes and he's got the cars and he's got all this and the financial comfort and he's set. And I'll listen to him talk about money because there's probably something there I can learn. For you, I'll listen to you about weightlifting or exercise, not because you're 20 and in shape. Everybody in 20 should be in shape. That's just
exactly.
That's just stop. But you're 47, and I know what comes with 47 in life. So you're in shape, you look great, and you still move and groove. So whatever you have to say there's something I can learn.
Right. So someone just
where's the confusion at?
Right. So even off of the fitness. So, one of my clients who's a friend now, and he's, financially very stable, he's wealthy, and he's very, very intelligent. One of the most intelligent people I've come across. You take advice from him. If he says to do something in this direction, he has proof in the pudding. And if he tells you not to do something, it's a bad move. You don't do it. You don't ignore him. But it's almost the same thing. You're a little older than me. I'm 47. We're in shape. Maybe I know a little bit something. And when I say oatmeal is good and it's been working for me for my whole life, and then you have some guy who's out of shape, who looks like a
That's the one I just saw the other day, didn't it?
Some
guy say, don't do oatmeal. Okay, stop. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
he was the guy that I think you're speaking about. There's a couple guys that said that, but they're frail looking to me. I look at them, I go, oh, let's not give nutrition advice to make a body healthy, and you're frail or smaller than my girl.
Right, I'm not going to listen to you.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Are you going to take financial advice from a guy who's
in his apartment,
drives a Miata?
Bug?
You know what I'm saying? Who has an apartment? No, obviously not. It's the same thing. Am I going to take nutrition advice from you? Yes. Are you going to take nutrition advice from him? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? No. If you say oatmeal's okay, I'm going to be like, yeah, Mike knows what he's talking about. It's probably okay because it works, because look at the shape he's in. It's the same thing. It's about keeping it really simple and sustainable. That's why I look like this. And even I'm thinking about who was banging on him, that same guy was Mike Dolce, right? And he's 40 something years old, and he's ripped to the bone, and he's strong, and he eats the same way I do, and I'm sure he eats the same way you do. And it just works over time. This is what works. And listen, man, from social media, everybody has their angle. They're trying to make money. I get it. But dude, it's very laughable. I like the sun, the moon, the stars, and this, and yo, man, they have some good points. I'm not gonna lie, and probably there's some truth behind it. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm like, no matter what that is, you're not gonna maintain stopping eating at 2:00 forever. And so this one who I'm speaking about, right? I don't want to mention name, but she's speaking about, I'm like, she goes, oh, after the first front load, you go to an 80-20. I go, what's the 80% though? An 80-20. You know what I'm saying? You have to do it 8%, then 20% you go off. But what's the 80-20? And I found out you have to for almost forever stop eating at 2. Not realistic for every person because this, right? My wife's a school teacher. What do you think she's doing at 2:00? In between class, she's heating up her steak and eggs and whatever, and then going back and teaching. Because what is she doing? The one who puts out this program. She's home, probably makes a fresh ribeye, grilled asparagus, and chills. Yeah, easy for you. You think my wife wants to be eating out of Tupperware for her last meal for the rest of her life?
What grade
No.
does she teach?
7th grade.
Oh, I can't even imagine the stress level she's going through.
And that's your last meal.
To the and
then you can't eat after.
And you're done there. Isn't I know you keep saying that it's the way to make meal. Do they not comprehend, the majority that are trying to sell nutrition plans? It just matters on if the person likes you as a coach, because that's really what it comes down to, and they can kind of guide you in a certain way. Because there's not a trick to it. At the end of the day, if you're in your mid-30s going, hey, I'm going to lose weight. How are you going to do it? I'm going to stop eating. Great. I'll see you when you're my age. How's that going to turn out for you?
They got to like you. It's funny that you said that.
That's really what it comes down to. There's not a lot of tricks and stuff. Calories are good for you. It depends on how much you can handle and eat all the foods and enjoy it and make it fun. But this person's plan is better than your person's plan. Every plan works at first.
It all works at
then
first.
If you have somebody like you smart enough to go, let me change it right before your body plateaus, or you're starting to slow down, or you're getting bored, boom, I'll switch it. But it's again the relationship with you and the client. It's not the fact of this person's nutrition is tenfold better than you. It's like, okay, there's not that much.
Yeah, but bro, you know what's crazy? I said a little before, right? You and I are in this circle for our whole life, right? And it might be a small circle, but in reality, it's actually a small circle. So, and it's crazy because I go on vacations with my family and then you see America and they may hate on me for this, not. You're like, dude, I'm a decade older than these guys. These people looking at me like I was an alien that got planted on the resort. And yeah, I liked it and I loved it. I was wearing shorts that barely covered me. And my wife's like a little short. I'm like, yo, I don't have a lot of years left on this earth. I'm going to wear whatever I want. You know, but like, I'm like, yo, why do you look at it? And then when you hear what they eat, they have no idea what they're doing with food, a lot of people. No idea. They don't even know, like you and I, it's just like, how do you not know this? But you'd be surprised, or maybe not surprised, how many people don't know nutrition facts or what's even protein. Like this woman the other day, I was telling you, can't eat pasta? No, you can't eat pasta if you want to lose weight. Except for your wife. No, you can't eat pasta. You know, and it was just so off the table. All you need is a little bit of discipline. You know what I'm saying? Be a little consistent with discipline and like not indulge every second, you know, and then train a little bit. It's really like
you can have your pasta on Sunday.
Bro, it's not a hard process.
So what's the difference then? I'm just saying, because you just said your vacation, and I just jumped over to Vegas over the weekend. And it crushed my soul. And I travel a lot, but I don't know why this weekend I just paid attention and I just watched. And I'm like, this is bad. My phone was, my head wasn't in my phone. I was actually just people watching. And I'm sitting there going, there is just a different mentality when it comes to food and exercise and movement than there was in the 80s.
Yeah.
It's just a different world. And I'm just thinking back to that time. And we said this out here is like, if somebody eats chicken and rice for dinner, they're on a diet. No, that's just a meal. That's what we grew up on, steak and potatoes. We had eggs for breakfast. I grew up on
real food. Like, fitness wasn't in my house.
So why is it so different now that it's like, oh no, have cereal for breakfast, have your milkshake and sandwich for lunch at Starbucks, and then have your pizza for dinner?
Dude. Like, and like I was saying before, like some of my boys, the older I get, this is what also is like, I used to actually lie a little bit about my age. I'm not going to lie. Like when I was about approaching 40, and then when I was 40, I'd be like I was 38. Now I'm 47. When I was 46, I was saying I was 47 because the percentage of guys that are in our shape as you get older is less and less. The 0.002%. I like saying I'm 47. It almost seems unreal. Swear to God. I have no, because you see, even my friends were in their 30s. I'm like, damn, bro, like, I love you guys, but you look like a smashed oatmeal, you know what I mean? Like a poured out pudding. And as you get older, it gets even worse. And the lifestyles, and I love them to death, but I'm like, dude, they drink, they do this, and they don't do it, help themselves. Not all of them, but, my boys I grew up with like some, what I'm saying, like street dudes, and they're all like, whatever, but I'm just like, damn, man. Like, they don't even know what to do,
I don't know if everybody's going to be able to comprehend this discussion because of the fact that it doesn't make sense to me to not be able to tussle at any age that I'm at. And like you, I'm late 50s. And so I always say, I'm closing on 60. And I still hear guys going, dude, I look good for 40. I go, what the freak are you talking about? 40? You see 40 in America? 40 in America looks old as shit, dog.
I know.
It's like,
I know.
Stop. What's up, trouble?
No, I'm okay. Thank you.
Milkshake? Pasta?
Please.
But at the end of the day, for me, and that's why I don't know if everybody's going to understand it, don't you want to be healthy? Don't you want to be able to tussle? And I got a 5-year-old, just turned 5. And so it's like, I have to be like Clint Eastwood and be able to move and groove.
I know.
In 15, 20 years.
I think that too.
It's like, this guy, arrogant and just wanted to be a freaking savage All-American football.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted.
Yeah.
Me, I want to be able to wrestle with my son and give him a match. At least before he hits puberty, because afterwards I'm going to get my ass
kicked. Me too. Me too. My son has my wife's genetics. She has some big guys in her family. Now, they're big. They're all 6'1". He's got those genes. And I feel him right now. And his foot, dude, he almost wears my socks. Not that I have a big foot, but I'm like, he's got those genes. I'm like, yo, he's going to be able to fucking body slam me in 7th grade. I better be nice to him. Why
isn't that everybody's? Why isn't that all parents kind of?
I don't know. All parents don't think that way. I do.
But because it goes to the whole discussion we're having. It's like, you don't need to fight over whose program is better or this or that, or all these foods are bad for you. She eats pasta a lot. She, hamburger and all that stuff. But it's the consistency of training, eating smart.
Yeah.
Having a coach that you like and will listen to.
Yeah, dude, you got to like them.
That you can be honest to. That might be even better. You can be honest to and say, hey, I'm losing it. And that's when they do need
pull it back.
It's like, one thing I will say to anybody out there that's looking for a coach, I'm going to work with you. Work with you when it's bad, not when it's good. Not when it's on the 12. Hey, I'm going to get in shape now. The 12 weeks, that's easy. You're focused. It's after the show or after you got ready for something or after the class reunion or whatever that show was. That's when they need you.
Yeah.
And they don't need
I get it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. It's easy to do anything when everything is all peaches and cream. They're going to need me when they're like, bro, I'm starting to, now it's getting gritty. But even with like what I do, I don't try to make it. I try to like just consistent over time. Nobody here is dieting for show unless they get to that point where they want to get down to those little shorts like I rock. Then we got to stop being a little strict. You know what I'm saying?
I hope you're going to pull up a picture of his little shorts at that point, right?
We
can put that in there.
He's always trying to make me wear shorts.
Whatever you want, you can wear that.
Bro, don't tempt me. I'd run around and oiled up. Zane wanted me to rock shorts yesterday. I'm like, they look a little flat. He's like, you're crazy. Pull up a picture of my legs if you could do that and show him that I'm
don't do it. Don't scar me for life, man. I'll check his OnlyFans account later.
Right, Zane?
You'll understand this. I saw, and it was a great point. And it's like, you call somebody your friend, but you've never gone through those, the drops or the hardships with them, or they've never pulled you out of something like that. And it's an interesting thing nowadays. It's you get along with them, you hang out with them, and cool, that's a friend. Back in the early days, it was like you would get in trouble and they'd be there to help you no matter what time it is.
That doesn't exist anymore.
It's a tough thing to find. It's a tough thing to find. So I know we just jumped from nutrition to that to friendship. It's the same thing when it comes to your coach. You got to be able to trust him, believe in him, and know what he's saying. And it's the same thing about your friends. You got through those tough times. And I know that your friends come to you too about nutrition. And sometimes you got to lay into them and go, I'm not going to give you a plan this time. I keep trying to help you. And all you do is just.
Well, it's not that I won't, but I know it's a waste of time for me. If you do what I told you to do with the sausage and the pasta and ratio it, and I saw you lost 20 pounds, which would be like it'd be easy, it should fall off because you're forcing your body to be fat, right? That and then maybe we could talk and I'd put the work in to structure something for you. But it's going to be a waste of time.
Well, then take the thought of, all right, you're going to give the time to that. Then we jump over to social media. It might have been a chance that we would never have met without social media. And I think social media is an amazing thing because it could connect you to people that you can learn stuff, you can have moments with. At the end of the day, cool memories and moments with. But there's a lot of, and I think we started talking about that, these people talking about their whole page is about going to the grocery store and saying, oh, this is bad for you. Or these kind of programs are not good for you. Or these trainers are not good for you. Step into that realm. What is that?
What they do, you saying? Trying to bang on things?
What is the mentality of that? That's trying to get a nut.
What are you saying? They're just trying to bash things is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, that's all they're doing.
Because they don't know anything positive to say?
Or they just can't make fame off of them or what they've done in their career. So I'm going to talk about this guy today because he's famous. And I'm going to bash him. I'll get some.
I know someone right off the top of my head, which I don't like.
And there's so many of those guys, and it's easy pickings. Oh, you can become famous. Again, at the end of the day, just so you know, you're not famous. The people you're talking about is famous. You're just a guy that's dictating who they are, and you're talking bad about
off of it.
And you got to go bed going, hey, you know what I did today? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. Sorry. But right at the end of the day, and it's the same thing about you guys going to the store and saying, hey, this is how you girls, I know I see a lot of women going, hey, don't eat this, 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 and this. And it's like, wow, you're setting these women up to fail when they hit 40 and 50. Because I've seen this. This is the problem I see. In the health and fitness world, there's not many trainers left. Now they're chemists. And it's like, oh shit, well, we lost the art of using nutrition as medicine. It's not like medicine. It is medicine. And creating these incredible physiques that these women, like, and you probably don't even know Carla Dunlap or Rachel McLish, but these are the girls
Just
from the 80s. Do you know
that?
Yeah,
I do.
Okay, so you know what they look like today? They look the same today. Yeah. And that's because they use nutrition as medicine at that young age, and they continue to do it for a lifetime. And I see these guys trying to coach now, and it's like these women are getting thyroid problems. They're getting their metabolism destroyed. And I'm like, oh, this is painful to watch.
So what I was going to say was this, while it's still in my head, is that, you know, and I'm sure it's the same here, that like, we'll talk about nutrition and it's your lifestyle first. Everyone in my area, these guys, whatever lifestyle they live and whatever, they think that shooting a needle in their ass for TRT is going to erase the problem. They erase the 30 years of the drinking and the bad habits and putting shit up their nose and whatever. No, I tell them, you know, because I talk about juice a lot on my thing and hormones, and like, I'm not pushing it. I talked about, you know, being optimal. You know, I changed as the years went on, being, you know, optimal for hormones. I'm talking about gas pedal and sticking Equipause in your body and shit. But these guys think that taking a CC, a test a week, is going to be like, yo, it's the fountain of youth. No, it's not going to fix the dominoes. It's not going to fix the beer. Stop drinking that shit. And I bet you would start to feel better because your body's testosterone will start to elevate naturally on its own. Right now, what you're doing, you're smashing it down like a beer can. You know what I'm saying? You got to change that. That shit don't take it away. You know, so what I'm saying is, you got to fix your habits and your baseline, which is food and nutrition, exercise a little bit, right? Before, yeah, it's about the coach. I know what you're saying. And yeah, with social media, right? Like I go through my DMs and shit, and like I said something about this Australian bodybuilder. He had this belly that was from here to the wall.
I think we just saw that, right?
Oh yeah. So yo, he pops how we do. He pops shit off of me, and I reacted. I go, this is from growth hormone. And all of a sudden, he actually, so I do these calls, right, with my sales calls for online coaching. He goes, hey, mate. He's like, I was like, what's up, bro? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm the guy, the Mama Luke. What, things just fly out of my mouth. I don't know what I'm saying half the time, right? I'm like, all right, what's up? How can I help you? He goes, I'm the guy with the, you know, with the vitello. You're wrong. It's all about the fucking abs, the hernia, whatever. I'm like, all right, bro, you know, did I hurt your feelings? Would you like an apology? And I handled it professionally, surprisingly, right? I was like, listen, it was bad taste in my mouth. I apologize. I didn't know situation. I apologize, you know, whatever. I go, but remember, I didn't get off the phone with you, right? I could have just said, fuck you and hang up the phone, right? But I'm on the phone with you. I caught him off guard with that, right? So he was fine. He was like, oh, have a good day, whatever, right? And now I'm getting these DMs, you're a fucking bully, some doctor, whatever, that worked on him. I'm like, fuck you, stay in Australia, right?
So the final
so you're not telling me 90% of that isn't from growth hormone use? You know what I'm saying? 90% of the guys' belly distension. Everyone has ripped fucking abs, right? I was so wrong on that. No, maybe I was wrong about you. You know, but 90% of the guys have fucking bellies like that because they shake 20. I use the growth hormone today. Right, Mike? Right. So I'm so wrong about that. So when he goes, you're a bully on social media. This is what the point I'm saying. No, I'm not a bully on social media. I say stupid. I point out when people do stupid shit. Someone was just bashing Ronnie Coleman about his pants, and that's what you're talking about. Doing tricep, trying to like push some shorts and shit. All the guys does is clip out people on social media. You have no talent or skill. What are you doing? You're bashing on these people to get some fame, right? You should be ashamed of you. No, I'm bashing that girl standing on a leg press with that thing hanging out, trying to call out guys. Yeah, any man, a blind man would look at you who can't see. You know what I'm saying?
I think I was a blind man looking at that ass too.
Yes.
And I know which one. No, it's an amazing thing, but it goes back to, and it sucks that it's so simple, and I don't know why people are so confused about it. It's balanced nutrition, consistency on training, just like you said to the lady that was at your son's game. 20 minutes.
Yo, I was pissed that day.
I know, but you gave her honest advice. You just said, hey, just train 20 minutes 3-4 times a week and clean up the diet. You're gold.
Well, just to make it clear, I didn't say it like how Mike said. I said 20 minutes. 20 minutes is all you need. And I looked down at my phone. I was in the mood not to talk.
But delivery's delivery. You gave her the right information. It's up to her to do with what she wants.
She ain't gonna
and
do
she's
shit.
going to do shit with it.
No,
We were just with Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is 60 years old, who's an absolute monster. Hall of Fame wrestler.
Billy Gunn. I know
Yeah.
Billy Gunn is.
So you know what he looks like.
Yeah.
He's freaking He-Man that walks into a room. And in person, he's just a monster of a human. And he's so kind. I'm sick. I am an ass compared to him. He's so nice. And he says to people when he's at sign, he goes, I want to do what you do. And he goes, okay, but you can't. Why? Just because you can't. You won't. I just eat.
And he's a nice guy saying
And he's a
like
nice
that.
guy saying this. And
Catch
at
him
the end
off
of the
guard.
day, it may sound harsh, but nutrition is real freaking basic, people. Training is real basic. Now, if you want to do it for a lifetime, you're going to have some intelligence there. And in nutrition, the same thing. If you want some in shape stuff today, cool. Anybody can get you that. But it's how you get in shape is how you're going to stay in shape. And I think that's where people could go, oh, I could do that. I could start talking about that and teaching that. It's not about hey, stop eating at 2:00, you'll lose weight. Holy shit, you stop eating. It's those kind of trainers and stuff are going to burn themselves out and hurt people.
I'm sure there is some statistical data and science of whatever and works for this, but I'm like, yo, man, it does one. I don't believe that's what you have to do. If you wanted to front load on something like that, and then there was an end game to it where you could go back to a somewhat normal lifestyle, which I think you can sustain what you've gained in those 3 months, that could be like maybe the long game. But like I recently found, like, I wonder what the 80% is. That was my whole thing. What's the 80%? Maybe if like, okay, go back to normal lifestyle, maybe you have to do 124 hours fast a week and then cut whatever. You know what I'm saying? Where it's realistic. No.
But who's walking around like Billy Gunn? There's Robbie Robinson that's walking around at 81 years old. So the
I know what
study,
you said, yeah.
Skip the study, because not everybody's going to do the lifestyle. The studies are annoying to me because it comes down to the individual. And this is what I see. I see powerlifting women tenfold better than any other sports because they're still working on the density. They're still moving through full range of motion and they're still eating consistent. And that's why you get 70, 80-year-olds. This 90-year-old lady the other day deadlifted 225. 90. Most 60-year-old women.
I saw that.
It's like, it's an amazing thing, but that's the only study I need.
So check this out. So the people you meet in life, right? I'm in the hotel gym. I just want to get a little quick pump. And a lot of times you and I, too, you live for this sexy day. I felt like shit going in there. I walked out. I'm like, life is great. I feel great. I'm ready for this podcast now. People you meet. I'm in there by myself. Older, in shape gentleman, like old. He was in his 80s, right? Real nice, having a nice conversation, talking, telling him I'm all fucked up, I'm in shape. I'm like, you're in great shape, talking about hormones. He's like, yeah, recently I started falling off. He knew what was up. It was blood work. I said, yo, don't forget about the needles, Tonga Ali, for those regress, whatever, right? So I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write it down so you don't forget, right? Before he told me his information, I went out, wrote it down, came back in, and he goes, you like rock and roll? I'm like, I listened to it. I'm not like a connoisseur or something, I like everything. He's like, he goes, Led Zeppelin? I'm like, who? I go, there's guys in Somalia know who Led Zeppelin is. He goes, yeah, I was the producer for them. So get out of here. He produced for Led Zeppelin. Jimi Hendrix. I think it was Aerosmith. I'm like, if you tell me, I go, I gather you're a little famous, right? He goes, yeah, I'm Eddie Kramer, right? So I was like, all right, nice to meet you. I'm Toronto. Yeah, we got dinner. I left. I pull up, on Google, Ed. As soon as I pulled up, first, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and shit.
Jeez, always.
People you meet, which is wild, right? But the guy's 82 years old. His brain was on point 100%, and the guy was in great shape for 82.
And he's still in the gym. That's where you met him.
Yeah.
Hotel gym.
Yeah. Dude, the guy was insane.
Still getting it in.
Yeah.
Staying active.
Yeah. The guy had not an ounce of body fat on him. And dude, I lost some weight because of hormones, whatever. But like, I go, you know why? Dude, most people's hormones, a lot of men, because of their lifestyle, fall off at like 39 to 45 because they're fucking blasting rails and drinking beers or whatever. I go, you live a clean life. I go, it's going to happen. We're not
How
vampires.
the heck did he live a clean life? Could you imagine the stories he has?
I know.
Dude, I want to sit down with him. Holy shit.
And so his name was like, yo, we should have him on the podcast.
Oh my gosh. That's a blown opportunity right there.
No way, bro. I got his info. We're going out for dinner.
Oh my gosh.
Tell
me about those days.
So yeah, me and Mike were talking before, and I was like, yo, you got brothers and sisters? I knew you probably had some brothers. I was listening to one of Mark Bell's podcasts, made a joke about something, and you're like, yo, I'm one of 10. I'm like, one of 10? Holy shit.
Yeah.
He's a farm boy. I thought he grew up in California.
No.
He was like literally one of these country boys throwing hay and shit. And like we were talking about, he's just his genetics, all of his brothers are big and shit. So I was yesterday, no, I didn't tell this story, right? So I grew up, my older brother, and there was no fitness in my house. I didn't grow up with fitness. My dad, I have decent genetics. My dad, regular, typical Italian guy, and he drove a gasoline truck for a living, right? And drove through the Bronx at night. You remember Son of Sam?
Yeah.
He was driving the truck in the Bronx during the Son of Sam, so he'd be looking over his shoulder the whole
Holy
time. Right?
shit.
Yeah, those were the days. But I remember, like, my first weight set I was telling you that he bought me was a Joe Weider weight set, and how I know my dad was strong, right? He just started curling it. And dude, my dad never lifted a weight in his life. His diet was olives, cheese, Italian bread, cereal, and peanut butter jelly. And he had abs, and his legs were ripped out. Yeah. So meanwhile, thank God I got it. His brother is the complete opposite. I'm not going to call him morbidly obese, but he's you know what I'm saying?
He's a little
heavy,
big boned.
Big boned. He was, football player, but he got the complete out. My dad got the ripped genes. That's where I got a lot of genetics. But like, I didn't grow up with fitness in my house, but I did eat whole regular meals my whole life. Lots of rice, meat, hamburgers. But I didn't eat any fast food. I didn't even know what fast food was then, but like, that's why maybe, I was
fast
actually
food for us was what, the hamburger with the Wonder Bread.
I was actually the kid. I was actually the kid in elementary school, right? I was the kid with the weird lunch. I'm like, fuck, man, I got this big weird lunch. These kids got like Lunchables and shit. Meanwhile, my mom was doing the right thing for me the whole time, giving me real food. I'm like, I got this big stupid sandwich. I'm half Asian actually. I'm half Korean. And foreigners, my mom first year, she'd make me these lunches, and I was the kid opening up this big thing of rice and meat, and I'm like. Meanwhile, she was
mixed with Italian and Asian.
Yeah,
I love it.
Meanwhile, she was doing the right thing for me, But why I was talking about like brother, me and my brother, two totally different opposite people. I'm into fitness, that he's like a gearhead. He's into guns, could care less about weightlifting and stuff. So older brothers are older brothers, and he always used to torture me when I was little. Dude,
it's good to grow up with something like that.
Dude,
though.
no,
Come on now.
like he would lay me down in the street, and him and his friends would build a ramp with their BMX bikes and jump me and try to push me further and further until they start clipping me with their back tire. And then like I'd be a test dummy.
Pretty normal.
He'd put a helmet on me in this go-kart, and they'd tie the thing with a rope to their dirt bikes and whip me around. And one time I remember I'm in it, dude, I was like 6, and the rope wrapped around the tree. And the thing went over. I thought I was paralyzed. I'm laying there. He's like, oh my God. He ran over. I remember. But then there came an age where I was old enough. I was 19, right? He's 7 years older than me. And he said something to me. And I stood up.
And it was on.
Came at me. And I clipped him and I dropped him, right? Now he was mad. He goes and gets a baseball bat, right? That's what it was. He got a baseball bat and he like kind of fake hit me. I turned. I hit him. I dropped him. Now he was really mad. My dad was holding him and he swung and I dove under the kitchen table and he clipped my hand. I go, this motherfucker's not fucking around right now. He's going to kill me. He broke loose from my dad He goes, I'm going to fucking kill him. He goes upstairs. He grabs a gun. He starts filling it with bullets and they're hitting the floor. I'm like, he's going to shoot me right now. He would have shot me. He would have shot me in the leg. He wouldn't have shot me in like the back. But he would have shot me. So I'm running up the street, right? He ran out of the house with the gun. I didn't come home for like a week, bro. Over. My friends saw him waiting in his car 2 days later with the gun going, I'm going to fucking kill him if I see him. That's how crazy he is. Older brother stories I just like to share. Funny stories.
We never got that down, but we did get the tussle. But
I mean, you were a farm boy, bro. I don't know. Maybe they did pull a shotgun on you or something.
We didn't do the guns. But we did the mitts and wrestle.
You definitely had a fight with your brothers.
I'm the youngest out of the 10 clan, so it was always the competition, always the out-train them, try to be better than my one brother, then move up to the next brother, and then beat him, and then beat him. Set me up to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and they were cool with it. They were like, "Oh, you ain't gonna outlift me."
But they also tortured you though, growing up.
Oh, it was awesome. But see, that mentality is. We call it a slaughter line in judo. And so like if I'm getting ready for a tournament.
Judo guy. That's right.
If I'm getting ready, I'm right there on the mat. And now you got 10 guys lined up and they one at a time, fresh. Go in, you go. Next guy comes in, takes you. And it's just those kind of mentalities set you up to win for the tournament. And we were talking about this. I said to you, it's cool that you go and work out every day, but are you investing in your future? And I don't see that a lot. And I definitely don't see that. And you're not going to see that with the youngsters because the youngsters want to be champions today.
Hold on a second. Even when you said it before, right?
Okay.
I didn't really fully understand. Maybe because I've been doing it my whole life. And it's just like a staple that I don't understand what you mean. Meaning like.
So you can go to the gym.
I know what I mean. Dude, I go to the gym and like, I'll do my heavy sets to build my strength and my foundation, which I always do unless something's really fucked up on me, right?
Right.
Because I know it's necessary to do like my 4 sets of 3, but leave a few in the tank.
Why is it necessary? Because these guys out here, they're saying, no, you can just lift light and lots of reps.
No.
Why not?
I don't believe that.
But why?
Because honestly, it builds a fucking foundation of strength.
What does lightweight and lots of reps do?
I don't know. It's good for a pump for the day. It's not building any real deep hard strength, but I always do like a few sets of 3. Would you say that it's
mileage?
The 15 or the 3s? What do you mean?
I don't know when this came in, but people go lightweights, lots of reps. There's no such thing as lightweight. There's the weight you're using for the rep range you're going, but it's always heavy. There's no lightweight. And the reason why there's no lightweight, and you're hearing this from a guy, not me. Again, I've been around the greatest that this industry's ever seen in powerlifting, martial arts, and football, in bodybuilding, in all aspects of sports. It's mileage. I get that you feel great at 20. I'm going to do 30 reps. I'm going to do 40 reps. It's like, great, cool deal, man. Keep that up. But it's mileage at the end of the day. Can you get into the gym, do the least amount of work possible, but still get better? That takes a smart person. And that's the only skip. And it's the same thing with nutrition. Can you do good nutrition now that will still set you up later instead of starving yourself now? Yeah. It's like the person that goes, I've been on 1,000 calories for the last 6 months. Great job. That's going to do great for your hormones, for your body,
some of my clients
for
were
your
like,
future.
I did a liquid diet. I lost 100 pounds.
Great. It's coming right back. Good job.
Bro. Yeah, and then you put 40 back on. I'm like, yo, you got to do this.
That's the one thing I think in fitness is that they miss. And it's not me preaching. I'm just a bridge from the golden era guys to the new age guys. And I'm just trying to relate what I've obviously picked up by not asking, by watching and by listening. I get to sit there round table of Tom Plaz, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Joe Wieters, lunches with me. It's like these guys, there's something there that kept them healthy for a lifetime and been able to move for a lifetime. Robbie Robinson doesn't look good for 80. Robbie looks good for a 20-year-old kid. So all you out there, stop crying. Go, oh, he looks good for 80. Shut up. He looks better than you at 20. He's 80, still lifts like a freaking savage. And the reason
he's
why...
He's 80 years old?
He's 80 years old.
Damn.
Dude, he can go to those pool parties now and he's going to be pulling.
Shredded.
And he probably is going to the pool party. I know Robbie. Yeah, you player. No, but it's just the consistency of him being smart enough to get in a good workout today, but at least do something today that's going to set you up in 10 years, that you can still do that.
That's why I do the 3s. That's why I do it. And I also like to lift heavy.
But lifting heavy's cool. And they're going to say it's an ego thing.
No, I don't
It's
lift the ego.
stress. It's stress. No, but I mean,
I feel like it's
society's so
necessary.
snowflake-ish. They're going to go, well, you don't have to lift
Yes, you
heavy
do.
anymore. You don't have to do that because why? It hurts you. It's just you. No, it's not.
So you know why
It's
I got
stress
hurt?
to the
I
body.
lifted heavy and dumb.
But
That's why.
stress is weightlifting, not stress. It's supposed to be stress
Yeah.
to the body.
Yeah.
I get that you want to get in shape, and I get that these people want to get workouts in and get a pump. To get a pump, and you'll agree on this, I could feed you a pizza, load you up on creatine, go in and superset
Did it
your
yesterday.
arms. How pumped out
I
your
go, yo,
arms.
I ate 2 bags. What I do?
How
I on
pumped
the
were
way.
you?
Dude, I go, you gotta see me right now. I eat In and Out. Then he took this guy with the food, bro. Like,
Yeah.
let him call the spots,
He'll find it. He'll find it.
dude. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have picked these spots. He goes, yo, trust me. I think he's like he's a batting 1,000. We've been on 2 trips. I'm like, yo, you pick every food spot. He's like, that's what you get from a former fat
And they're
guy.
fun. Those workouts are fun.
Yeah.
It doesn't set you up to win.
Yeah.
And you can have those, and it's just like the pasta. You can have it, and then go back to the consistency, and then jump into the water. Do those kind of.
What do
fun
you eat when you
workouts.
cheat?
My girl's a cook, so it's just more of the same.
More the same of what? Of what she's having?
Steak and I'm everything, but I'm not dirty.
Ever.
Nah,
Come on, bro.
no.
Not like one, like you see like Dwayne Johnson, Rocky puts like, and I like that. I go like pancakes with peanut butter, and I like it once in a while. And I'll be honest with you, because this is what happens with me.
I'm
I'm
not saying
very-
you can't. I'm just saying that's
I
not my
need it
taste.
sometimes. I
Yeah.
really do, because I overeat too clean for my genetics.
Yeah.
And then like I start to get flat, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, and then all of a sudden I'll throw that in. I'm like, yeah, that's what I needed. I fill out and look better. I'm not saying that's the best thing to do, but my body just needs it once in a while.
I
More
agree.
often once in a while. I was telling him why I don't know about these food places, because I'm a creature of habit. All men are. Even though it's a cheat meal, I like it. I just stay in this lane. I like it. I know it. I don't really divert too much, And that's why even with food, I know it's good. I like it. It stays good. It gives me good results. I probably rotate maybe 8 different foods all year until I go ham on pancakes and peanut butter.
I like that you do
So-
that. And my best cheat meals are probably with like Heath Evans, a guy that played 10 years in the NFL.
I know who he is. Yeah. He's strong too. That guy.
Dude, it's great to eat with him because I guest posed. I forgot what show it was, but I guest posed. And I walked on stage at 272, and he goes, "That was the best you ever looked." And it's because you ate what I was eating. We were having Rice Krispie treats and donuts and all that stuff.
You eat like that once in a while.
He got me like that. But it's like, I think there's a cool thing about nutrition and training that can set you up to win both physically, but also emotionally. And so like you were talking about a lady that's like, just stop your pasta. If she has her pasta, and I'll guarantee you do this for people. If you have those fun meals that emotionally set you up and go, okay, I'm happy now. I had it. I can get back on track. And it's just like weightlifting. Okay, if you want to do the pump, cool, but go in and do your 4 sets of 3 first, and then go off and go crazy with your pump.
Yeah, that's why I train. I do. I gotta always though get my heavy lifts in. Even like so, I can't press really heavy anymore. I have a torn pec. Both labrums are torn, genetically or just being dumb, whatever it was. But even if it's a heavy plate load press, I still do like my 4s. I just feel like it's necessary. I'll always do a heavy pull to start, even if it's a plate load machine or free bar. I could still pull heavy. Squatting, but like just say I can't back squat heavy anymore, but I will trap bar dead heavy or do something like that. But it is always implemented in something in my workout. And then I'll do a superset pumpy.
But you said
whatever.
the one thing that they'll miss. You say you don't lift heavy anymore. You lift heavy for
No, I do.
You lift heavy
my-
for what you can do today.
Now.
And I wish they would understand that's the same concept for them.
Exactly.
All they have to do.
It's
You don't
heavy for
have
me
to
now.
lift 600 that you did in college. If all you're squatting is 300 now, that for your body is
Right.
stress.
It's heavy for me now is what I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah.
And like, I'm pushing at that percentage, my 90%. And that's what really is necessary. What you mean for the longevity and what did you say? Deposits.
Deposit.
For the future.
You're putting something in the bank for later. So you
Makes you
can
strong. Stan
do it.
Efferding said something. He goes, it's proven the most anti-aging thing you do. But forget about glutathione drips and rubs. That's just the way out to not work hard and be consistent discipline with your diet. Nothing beats strength training and eating good. Nothing. I don't give a fuck. Student needles in your body, whatever it is. Nothing beats strength
It's
training.
the fastest podcast ever. Ready? Hey guys, you want to get in shape? Weight lift and good nutrition. Have a good day.
It's the truth, though.
But the facets within it are a cool thing that could set you up for the lifetime. And like that we talked about. You want to be able to tussle with your kids, and you got a young one. And that's the motivation. And so everybody at home going, well, how do you stay motivated? We got
that is a motivation.
Well, you got one life. What are you talking about? How are you not waking up going, I want to do something? I think that's the coolest thing about my age now is people going, I don't want. Well, your legacy's getting written with or without you, son. So they're going to talk good stories about you, or you're going to be just jack shit.
It's funny. All my boys do. Like my boy Jordan, was pro fighter, all alpha males, and everyone knows who Mike is, right? And we would swear, like, yo, Mike definitely signed a deal with the devil. I go, this guy's like a vampire. He don't age. I think he just gets bigger and leaner. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, suspicious.
He's a vampire. He's not a human being.
How am I sitting at 270?
He's just a man. Are you 270 right now? How tall are you? 6 what?
I don't know. 6'2", maybe.
6'2"?
Yeah.
See, when you're bigger, you seem taller. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. And you're lean all year.
If I was hung like a donkey, that'd be great.
But no. There we go.
See, here you go.
There we go. And dude, you've been around the block like me, and I know you have boys who are stripped, and you probably got asked to be stripped.
Chris Wally, what's happening? I did the calendar for Chippendales as a model, but those are all my boys and the craziness. The shit you and me grew up with. It was just a good era, good time.
And dude,
holy
like,
sheesh, 80s and 90s were.
Yeah, like my boy Damon, God rest his soul, he died, but he would tell me stories, and he would do private parties. And he would tell me, dude, he would bride and the bride, the bride to be and the husband's sister-in-law in the bathroom servicing.
You got some editing to do on this one, guys.
And he'll leave it in for me. What? I don't know, but we'll just talk. You can edit.
No, but it was. We were just with one of these guys that comes up and goes, "Hey, Mike, you know all the guys that I dance with and stuff," and it's like that era. Oh my gosh!
I was actually when I was in crazy shape.
You got asked to dance.
I asked to dance.
You did do it, huh?
No, I didn't do it. I was debating on it. But you left out that
it was a guy's party. And
I really was going to do it. I was debating on it. I thought about it. I was a kid. I'm like, the money's great. I'm like, I'm going to go there. I'm going to do this. I was shredded. I was trend up and whatever, right? And dude, I remember I went there and then I started thinking of my boy's stories. And he told me a couple of stories, bro. Like he would do a party. And then he's like, that same crew called him back. And he goes, I'd walk into the room, bro. He goes, they looked like hungry animals. Like, you ever see those cartoons where like they're both starving on an island, the other one's looking like a hot dog and the other one's a hamburger? He goes, I felt like that. He goes, I jumped out the window and left. I was like, that. He goes, I was actually afraid. Could you imagine?
Well, I can imagine. I use this scenario of you ever seen two dogs eat out of the same bowl of food. It's pretty ferocious.
That's what he was like. For him, dude, he was big. He could fight. He's like, I looked around. I'm like, yo, I gotta get out of here. It's like hungry wolves.
Oh my god, man.
So this was definitely.
You're gonna hook up with Tate?
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, I never spoke to him before.
He was powerlifting during my days.
He was powerlifting.
He's a year. I think no, he's the same age as me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were going back like when I was telling you about Jeff Magruder and Doyle Kennedy and Doug Furness and those guys, and growing up with them. Tate was competing. I guess it was the 80s, early 90s. But bright guy,
Smart guy.
Yeah.
Very successful with his company, with his brand. So
that's why I love powerlifters, because they're engineering. Even if they're not educated in engineering, they're still engineering in a sense. They're playing with numbers all the time, figuring it out.
No, let me ask you. So you've been around these guys at such a young age, right? So, like I said, I was introduced and I was educated by these guys at a relatively young age too. And these guys are definitely more knowledgeable in the aspect of strength and doing it the correct way. Me, I lifted like bro split, but like maybe that's why I fucked up my body so much. And I would gas pedal it hard on everything. I would bench heavy. I was the guy. 1 plate and a quarter, 2 plates, or like barely any warm up. I always did everything to like failure.
Edit that out. Edit out that he used quarters on the warm up. Okay. Nobody should ever hear that. It's 1 plate, 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates, 5 plates.
I'm barely.
Come on, save this man. Come on.
This guy's like a third bigger than me. Come on.
Oh,
It's like
man.
twins. I'm like Danny DeVito. Get out of here.
You're great. Keep doing what you're doing on social media. Just keep doing what you're doing because I love that stuff. And it's so annoying to hear. It's if you're going to speak about something, there has to be some kind of foundation, anything that you're speaking of. If you're a coach, then there's probably a great gift that like Anthony Robbins, Tony Robbins, he can motivate the world. And so I'm pretty cool with who he is and what he does. But if you're going to be speaking about money, at least be all aspects of it. Because the one thing that I think the health and fitness world is missing is the individual that's the percentage of everything. You got the guy that's extremely strong, looks like shit. You got the guy that looks great and as weak as anything. These are both very short term. And it's like the individual that's the hybrid of, I can squat this much and I have development with it. And that's the ultimate art of weightlifting and nutrition. Can you create something and move through something by two facets, nutrition and training, to create something? Strength with shape. At the end of the day, that's my 2 cents, but I think that's what it needs to be. And you're a representation of that. And then you got the additional, you have seasoned. That's good, right? And you're minimizing the decline. And that's what these people should be coming to you for. How can I, and they could be 20 years old going, I want to minimize the decline. It doesn't have to be a 30-year-old. It doesn't have to be a 40.
Yeah.
And I learned young going, dude, I'm not that bright. I need to lift my life away. And so I started young in that sense. I know my ignorant bliss. I love what I do. It's fun as freak, but I understand the concept and the artwork and the, I don't know, the pinnacle of what weightlifting can do to you at the end of the day. It's a freaking cool thing.
Yeah, man. So like
tool.
the things that I wish like I was more, and I guess the life doesn't work that way. I wish I was more educated and I wouldn't get as hurt because I'm, I guess, like a representation of what, but I could be a little bit more. It's just that I can't do what I used to do due to injuries because I lifted like an asshole, because I took steroids too young, because maybe at certain points I did a little too much. And I never really took a tremendous amount. You know, I was like, I kind of responded pretty quick and I was good with that. I knew the ramifications of if I did gas pedal it, you know, but that's why I kind of was easy with it. But like, if I could turn back time a little bit and like train a little different and not do that extra thing, and I was like, no, I could do one more. Like, let me put on another quarter. And like, I'm like, that's probably not smart. But like, now I'll do, if there's any percentage of me popping something, I won't do it just out of fear that like I've gotten hurt so many times and like it offsets my life. Forget about just training. And training, yeah, I need to train. Like, I have to. But it offsets, like, you know, I'm going to, I actually popped my hamstring 2 weeks ago and it wasn't even from training. I fell off a scooter and whatever, right?
Again, edit that out. Put in. So I popped my hamstring. I was
deadlifting 680.
I was with my girl. I was going in my hour 3.
See,
you know,
everyone knows about the hamstring with the girl. Everybody knows about the hamstring stress.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like, you know, I'm going to a soccer game with him, and you know, his soccer game, and I'm wrapping up my leg, I'm limping. I'm like, oh, this sucks, man. He wanted to do something after. I'm like, I can't throw you right now because I popped my hamstring. And it got better fast because, you know, I knew I had rehab and shit. But like, you know what I'm saying? I have all this injuries from the way I lifted for years like that.
And you're still in better shape than a lot of guys that I knew in my 20s. They were pros.
Yeah, I try to be.
There's
I can't.
two sides to that story, though. There's two sides to your story. Yeah, you did stuff. It's okay. And you popped some stuff. But you're still consistent and you're still in the game, where there's some guys that I know that don't look anything close to you, and they were in the magazines with me.
Why is that though?
Because it's the hype,
dude. I've seen guys even
the ugliness of being young, and I agree. I was lucky in the sense that I was so big and strong as a 15-year-old kid that it allowed me to do and take my time. And then I had Joe Weider as my mentor, talking to me, going, "Let them do what they do. I like you for who you are. Keep doing what you're doing." And I'm like, "Fuck it, that's Mr. Olympia in my book." That's Joe Weider telling me, stay with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But when you're 20, and as I know a lot of you out there are 20, and you're like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump the gas, blow it up, and get jacked, and I'm going to be like these other famous guys. They're not going to be here in 10 years. How many guys have I lost that are close friends in their 30s, 40s, and 50s? You know, it's like, it's amazing how weightlifting could be so freaking incredibly healthy for you, and nutrition can keep you healthy, or how it could destroy you really, really fast and take you down the rabbit hole.
You know, and like I got these young kids, and you lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink it. And they have like a bodybuilding coach, and the guy just borderline morbidly obese, and the things he's telling this young kid with like, yeah, I'm like, dude, you're gonna fuck up your endocrine system and your fertility. They're not thinking that at 20, 21. I'm like,
remember us at 20? We're walking around hard-ons.
Yeah, but like,
I'm sorry, but you're 20. You're strong. You're big. You're vital. You're just like,
you're not thinking of that. And I'm like, dude, can you please listen to me? And like, I had problems. I'm like, and it just, I'm like,
did you have anybody at that young age that you could go to that was older?
Yeah, you know what I had? I had Sal D, who lived up the block from me, who drove a white LSC with a chain, who gave, you know, we added that. But anyway, that was my guidance. He could, you know, and he was jacked. And he was ripped, dude. And like, you know, he was like a suit. He'd take like this much. He was benching 405. He was shredded heats. I remember. He was my older brother's friend. We'd literally go to the diner. He'd eat pancakes, salami and eggs, and whatever. And he was peeled. I think he did dieted for a week. I don't even know if he dieted and did a show. You know, one of those guys.
Yeah.
Strong, just gained muscle overnight. That was my guidance. I had no guidance.
Yeah.
I go, you guys are lucky you know me. But you know, most of them do, you know, like this one kid. He's big and he's getting strong, but he has a coach. I go, yo, you taking HCG? No. I'm like, all right, man. I'm like, whatever. You'll see. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, maybe at 30, be like, fuck, I should listen to Vinny.
If I could say anything on this podcast and don't edit out, just if you guys are watching this, listen to him and listen to not the success stuff, but what he wish he didn't do and what he's learned from that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, use him as a guide, because honestly, there's not a lot of late 40-year-olds that are still peaking like you.
Yeah, I've tried,
you're
man.
still trying to get better, and you're still trying to work
in whatever way I can. Maybe gold. It's not, maybe I can't get as strong as one, but I want to be as shredded and do it this way, or just always evolving and just keep getting better. Yes, I am.
I love it.
And that's why, yeah. And dude, I'll be honest with you, man.
That's what it should
be.
Like,
you know, and like we were saying, like, dude, like I'm in my late 40s now, and I like saying I'm in my late 40s because, like, dude, I'm like the 0.2%. And when I was younger, it's easy. Everyone's jacked, right? I used to go to these crazy after hours parties, dude. Like after I bounced with my boys, I was telling you I train with.
Is this after the strip clubs and after the dancing? And after okay, all right.
We go to the club, we get there literally.
After the brass knuckles.
We get there at 4, 5 in the morning, and we'd rock out all night. But dude, the clubs were sick, man. You know, it was, dude, I had some of the best times. And guys, dude, the guys were jacked, running around with their shirts. It was almost like a bodybuilding show when everyone's partying on ecstasy. That was like, dude. But I see some of these guys now. I run into them. I'm like, yo, what the fuck happened? I'm like, yo, don't like they don't.
It goes quick.
And they're like, dude, you're still in shape. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm not what I was, but like, you know. And I take pride in that. I do. You know, and like I'm like, yo, man, I'm like, I'm gonna get better as I get older. I don't know about you, but like, I'm like, yo, don't you even like? I love lifting. I love working out. I know you do too. I'm like, yo, you just lifted for the vanity aspect to go run around and eat ecstasy pills and with girls at those clubs.
That's a great. You do need to talk about that at some point, because that's the youngster. I'm gonna make some money. I'm gonna get some abs. I'm gonna look good. And it's like, that's not. Again, if it's not rooted in you wanting to do something, it's got to be rooted.
Rooted. I knew it was rooted in me from like when I was sperm. It was rooted.
Yeah.
You know, I love, dude. I remember, dude. And you always hear like that old school. I love the like. I fucking when I got a pump, man. I'm like, I swear, dude. I remember the shirt I was wearing, right? And I was working. I was probably like, I was young. I was doing lat pull downs, right? I don't know why I remember this. I was doing lat pull downs, and I think it was when I started taking creatine. That's what it was. Yo, that shit works.
Oh yeah, creatine's great.
And I'm doing, and I'm like, I fucking love this shit. I was like hooked like heroin.
Done.
You know, done. Lifting weights and getting the pump. And I remember this dude, Steve, he was enormous. Obviously, he was like drinking Sustanon, but like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, you put like 30 pounds on. How the fuck is a creatine? I'm like, I gotta
chicken and broccoli.
I gotta get some creatine. I didn't put on 30 pounds. I put like 2 on, but.
Oh man.
And I bought that. A fucking dummy I was, you know. Anyways, this was a good podcast, bro. This was good.
Thanks, brother.
This was good, man.
Close it out, dog.
All right, guys.
If you can, close it out with a
Dude, I
dance.
gotta keep
A
talking.
dance and pop the top and okay.
Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Mike, thank you so much for being a guest on my show. And hope you guys enjoy this one because I enjoyed it and he enjoyed it. All right, till next time.